Hey people, it is Tuesday, March the 28th. The time is 4:14 in the afternoon, and it's currently 6 degrees Celsius. And I'm just crossing Jarvis Street here along Carlton. And I'm going to be heading north along Jarvis for a little ways. And at some point I'm going to make my way west, perhaps to the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. And I say perhaps because this is one of those mostly unplanned walks. It's a fairly decent day today, and I thought I'd just come out during rush hour and just take a walk around some parts of the downtown and just take in whatever I come across. I've always been fond of this old row of townhomes here. I think there's a film production underway on Bloor Street near Avenue Road, so I might wander over there just to check that out. And we can get a look at some of the grand historic buildings along Jarvis Street. The street once known for its mansions, and many of those mansions are now restaurants and institutional uses. And the sun is playing peekaboo today. Comes out for a while, and then it goes behind clouds for a while. It looks like it's trying to come out from behind the clouds again right now. And this is the Betty Oliphant Theater. The Shoe Room. I think these are all connected to the ballet school. And across the street, that one is now the Blake House Restaurant and Bar. The Windsor is the name of this beautiful old apartment building. And it's twin next door. This one is called Westbury Manor. There's Maitland Street. And that big building there is Jarvis Collegiate High School. I think that high school was used in a number of film and TV productions itself. Here's Wellesley Street. It'll take you into the Church Wellesley Village. And the most well-known of the old Jarvis Street mansions is now the Keg Steakhouse and Bar. Everyone just calls it the Keg Mansion. And here's another one, which is now the Jarvis Mansion Events Venue. I think some of these are still just being used as residences. And some of them are divided up into multiple apartments, such as this one. I'm not sure if this was always intended to be an apartment or if it was once a giant house. At the back there, it definitely looks more like an apartment building. Maybe that was added on later. And this one is called the Rundle House. All right, well, let's head over to Church, and then I'll make my way north along Church. So this is Gloucester Street. And lots of big old homes along here too. Most of these though are semi-detached or row houses. This one has a kind of a unique design for this area. Right, now here is Church Street. Looking down into the village. Don't see too many of those riding around anymore these days. Car started making a turn like you didn't even see me. And a new tower on the rise along the already crowded Charles Street corridor, which is almost completely filled up with tall towers now. Matter of fact, let's take a walk along Charles Street. And another tower will be rising here on this corner, which will be nearly as tall as the other ones all around it. See how they've maintained the facades of the old historic buildings that were on site here. This was an apartment building called the Manhattan. And an old mansion. And they actually tore down a pre-existing older high-rise apartment building, which was on this site, in order to construct the new tower. I think the old building was around 14 stories or so. I think circa the 1960s. don't think this street has been free of construction, noise, dust, and debris for like the last 10 years or so. I imagine someday it'll be all built out and things will finally quiet down for the people who live along here. I think we want to cross to the other side. And I think this was the first of the wave of high-rise buildings to appear along Charles Street in the later 2000s. There's a beautiful older apartment there. And this is called the Sanctuary over here. It's a drop-in center. And we're coming into the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. What is that? And you can see the new tower at the corner of Yonge and Bloor starting to look tall. It will eventually be as tall as 94 floors if it gets its requested height increase. Currently approved to be 85 floors. It'll be tall in any case. Alright, so here is Yonge Street. Let's look south. Alright, so I'm going to continue west along Charles Street for a bit, up to St. Thomas, I think. And this is my second time walking along this stretch because for the last 10 or 15 minutes, I was walking along well past this point, not realizing that my camera had stopped recording. And I finally noticed that even though the red light was still on, everything was just frozen. The camera just decided to just freeze up for some unknown reason. So then I had to check and see where it stopped recording and backtrack for quite a ways to pick up at that point again to continue on. So I'm just going to repeat the route that I took the first time all over again. So you might notice the sky and conditions look a little bit different all of a sudden. That's why. So I'm going to keep an eye on the timer as the light flashes to make sure it does not stop again. However, I did walk past that film set, and it was still underway. No actual filming was underway, but all the stuff that was set up on site was still there. And we're just walking past the Manulife Center. At one time, that was the tallest building in the Bloor-Yorkville neighborhood. Built in the 1970s, early 1970s, at 51 stories. And it wasn't until 2010 that another building in the neighborhood finally surpassed it in height. That being the Four Seasons Hotel. And here's Bay Street, looking south. There you can see the Four Seasons Hotel up there, that tall glass building. And that one didn't stay the tallest building in the area for much longer itself, because that was the start of the skyscraper construction boom around 2010 when things really took off downtown. And we're just coming into the University of Toronto campus. We keep heading west, but this is St. Thomas Street here, so I'm going to head north. The last time I walked through here, the sun was glaring into the camera. This time around, it's hiding behind clouds. That was about 20 minutes ago. And here is St. Thomas Street. This is a pretty upscale street. It's pretty short, just running between Charles and Bloor. But everything on here is rather on the expensive side. This is probably one of the most exclusive apartment buildings in downtown Toronto. That's 1 St. Thomas. And this beautiful old one is called the University Apartments. And another short street here called Sultan Street. And I see the sun is trying to come back out again. And the old Windsor Arms Hotel. This is a classy old hotel, kind of a Bloor-Yorkville counterpart to the old Prince Edward Hotel down on King Street. Not as big though. New Rolex boutique going in here. And this is Bloor Street. So I'm just going to walk west for a block or two and then check out that film production again. And then I'll cross over to the north side of Bloor and we'll make our way east all along the length of the Mink Mile.
You guys are done with this. It's just
So this is the old Club Monaco building, and Club Monaco vacated this space a long time ago, but now for this production it's being used as a Chanel store. And the real Chanel store is just a couple blocks north of here in the Yorkville neighborhood. And here's a whole bunch of newspaper boxes. Toronto is being disguised as another place. Although this one is a bit confusing because there's different cities on these different newspaper boxes. You have the New York Post here. Got your USA Today, but you also have the Fort Falls Herald. Where is Fort Falls? You have a United States mailbox. The Manhattan Herald. So that's 2 for New York. And a handy sign here for those thinking they're going to go in and shop at Chanel. And this box says the Chicago Post. And a New York trash can. Kind of strange having different cities all in one spot like that. But here is Avenue Road. And you got some local landmarks here. The Church of the Redeemer on this corner. And you have the Royal Ontario Museum on that corner. And the CN Tower, probably the best known landmark of all, way off in the distance. All right, so now we'll just take a walk all along the length of the Mink Mile here. At least as far as Yonge Street. I wonder if I can avoid walking underneath this big scaffolding this time. Last time I walked through there and kind of regretted it. Maybe I'll just walk not in the bike path, but in the parking area alongside the bike path. Just wait for these cyclists to pass here. Let's get around this rather bulky vehicle. Anything to avoid scaffolding. So already this version of the walk is better than the previous version. Just for avoiding that.
You say it as if I mean it in a bad way. But in a good way, like, yeah, you should know. I mean, you guys want to buy that coat right now. You know, that's not bad. I want to negotiate with that guy. I thought about it. That's what I want to do right now. You know what? I really wanted to get an ask you. So I don't feel that, right? Why don't we go look up that? The only thing is that you get it from this guy that's walking away. That's why I think that's great.
A stop sign? Okay, you can cross up here.
Yeah, and there are lots of vacant spots along this stretch, unfortunately, but many of them do have leased on them, at least, which is a good thing to see. This area has always been in a constant state of flux with its retail. It's looking up into Yorkville. Now let me see if I can get past this without getting a copyright match. Last time this song wasn't playing when I walked past here. Let's hope he drowns it out. There's a couple of those steel drum players who set up camp here along Bloor. Bay and Bloor. And last time, this is where I noticed that my camera was not recording any longer. Very busy along this stretch. I thought of crossing to the south side, but that other steel drum guy is there. And I'd rather not avoid getting a copyright match from whatever backing track he's using, so I'll just stick here to the north side. Here's the Holt Renfrew store. And lots of cement trucks all around the area here. They're doing a major pour, I think, right now. There was a line of cement trucks down Yonge Street and some more over here on this side. Pouring a new floor, perhaps, at the one as it climbs its way up to its eventual height of either 85 or 94 floors. And I think this is going to be the new flagship location of Lululemon. Here we are, Yonge and Bloor. So I think I'm going to wrap things up here. I hope you enjoyed the walk on a rather decent spring day. Wasn't too sure where I was going to go, but I did at least check out that film set, which was the only thing I really wanted to do. But we got to look at some areas here on the north side of downtown. So I hope you enjoyed the walkabout. If you did, leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also make sure you hit the notification bell, that way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And there's also a super thanks button right down below if you'd like to support the channel that way. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.